Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. Hola, ¿cómo estás? So, of course, today I will be continuing my series of learning Spanish. And today, thanks to, excuse me, thanks to Shane from Great Farmer Freelance Idea, he indirectly proposed that I include basically Hispanic or Latino artists at some point during my video when I'm learning Spanish. So I'm basically in this series now going to combine two series together. So I will continue to learn Spanish, but I will also be talking about Latino artists in particular. So he did vote, and I did have a poll up. Obviously, the poll now will basically be closed essentially, but basically, most of the people that voted for a particular artist called Carlos Enrique Gomez. So we will be talking about him today. So I'm going to start off the video with talking about the artist, and then we'll go into a few lessons of Spanish. So I do hope that you guys like this idea. So a big thank you and applause to Shane from Great Farmer Freelance for helping me get this idea, which I think is a wonderful, fantastic idea. So we'll get into that right away. So I'm just going to share my screen and show you guys one of his artworks that he created. So just give me a second, guys, to go right ahead and do that. When you guys come in, please give me a thumbs up. Share the video if you can, if you have a community tab to do so, and we will get on with the show here. So let's see. Here we are. So this is one of his paintings that he has, and it is called Kidnapping of a Woman. So you'll see that this is something that's fairly typical with this artist, and we'll get into it right now. Um, so I will take this off because I know YouTube is kind of, uh, you know, doesn't like certain things. So, but we'll get into it right now. So that was one of the paintings of the artist Carlos Enriquez Gomez. So Carlos was born in Cuba on August 3rd, 1900, and passed away May 2nd of 1957. Um, he was one of the writers of the Vanguardia movement in Cuba. So it's the Cuban avant-garde. So for those of you that don't really know much about avant-garde or contemporary art in general, avant-garde, when you say avant-garde, it's usually any kind of movement. It started off as a political movement, and I will have a video about avant-garde at one point as well to go more in depth to it. But basically, anything that's considered avant-garde is basically any kind of movement that the first of its kind and really is looking to rebel against the status quo of what is going on in society. So if you're talking about avant-garde art, it's going against art that it's art that goes against art that's conventional, right? So you have to understand that until the 1900s, basically art was supposed to be depicted as hyper realistic, very, using the standards of ancient Greece and Rome, and very hyper beautiful, and you really had to represent uh, the human form accurately, but at the most prettiest and very based on aesthetics and the looks. You had to have a specific technique as well, and so forth. So of course, the 1900s come around. Excuse me, I just need to cough. Excuse me. Um, so of course 1900s are coming around, and of course in particular World War One, World War Two, the Great Depression, all these events really transformed the way people were thinking and what we were going through in the world. Because obviously, war is not new, but oftentimes, war until that point was often between one particular nation and another one, right? So it was always between two particular nations. The World War One and Two, of course, implicated most of the planet. Excuse me, and really transformed a lot of the mentality because obviously, especially with World War II and then the Cold War later on as well, you had the idea of capitalism versus communism. The idea of that I mentality versus the we mentality, etc. So a lot of things were changing, and of course we had things like, and I know I spoke about this in my talk about the Harlem movement as well, where of course you had the civil rights movement in the U.S. And in Canada and several other countries as well. So you had more and more countries where you had a minority group that were fighting for their rights. And this was the same thing that was going on in Cuba as well. So a lot of artists, the way they would rebel against the status quo, again, Cuba in the early 1900s was a very tumultuous place. Hence the painting here as well that you saw a moment ago from the artist, where Cuba, until this point, a lot of the population was very poor and go through a lot of difficulties. Women, of course, felt at risk of being violated. Obviously, to respect people's potential trauma, I won't go into great details of that, but I think all of you can understand what I mean by that. So yeah, so Cuba. So this is the Cuba that this artist was grown up in, and really want to represent in his artwork, and really show that he was not part of the statu quo, that he was not for what is considered as quote unquote normal up to this point, right? He was really trying to rebel against that and really show that, as much as a lot of people romance life in Cuba, that if you are born in Cuba and you are poor, that your life is going to be very difficult, right? Um, of course, he depicted, of course, a lot of the Cuban landscape. Obviously, he was, as you can see by the painting that you guys saw before, he was influenced a lot by surrealism and modernism as well. He did not shy away from using nudity in his paintings and artwork, and using a more bohemian lifestyle. Now, what do I mean by bohemian? Bohemian, again, is part of that counterculture mentality. So, a bohemian lifestyle is any lifestyle that is not the standard. So, oftentimes, bohemian lifestyle is very unconventional, and you're oftentimes talking about people that are vagabonds, that are wandering, that are adventurers, people basically that are travelers essentially and don't necessarily think of like, okay, I have to have a job and settle down and just do what everybody else is doing, right? And of course, they'll have an appearance that's different from everybody else, and just like I said, a general lifestyle that's different from everybody else. So he was very much influenced by that and represented that in his artwork as well. So again, you can see that there's something very Picasso-esque about his artwork. Um, what else? He was born in Zulueta, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that properly. My Spanish isn't as good as I would like it to be, hence the Spanish lesson. And did not actually receive any kind or very little formal artistic training. Um, he did go to the U.S. In 1924, excuse me, in Philadelphia in particular, to get some training in commerce, and he did convince some of the teachers and professors there to get him included in the fine arts department to start, and he did start taking art lessons, but because of conflict of personality, he ended up leaving and going back to Cuba. So he never finished and consequently never obtained um, a arts degree of any kind. Um, so that's why he doesn't have a unlike a lot of the other artists that I have present or will present that have a bachelor's degree or a master's degree even in fine arts or visual arts or some kind of art uh, diploma of some kind. He's one of the quote unquote exceptional people that have no real training, so he's very much self-taught. So I guess it could also play into that hand of why he's very bohemian in his style, very independent, because it's like for his he did not learn the standard, right? He just did what he felt like to do. He didn't have a teacher to tell him do this, take it like that, go here, go there. And just to let you guys know, when he did go to Cuba in 1924, he was married and had a kid by the name of Isabetta, who he did bring with him to Philadelphia. Now, he did go back to Cuba in 1925, so he was in Philadelphia for about a year and did exhibit some of his work in Cuba, but one of his works were removed because of the nudity. So again, 1925, this is still the transitional period, right? So even though we're in full swing of many of the contemporary art movements, the status quo is still very much in place and really fighting hard to keep itself as it is and as the status quo, right? Um, so he did go back to um, the U.S. in 1939. So he's basically done back and forth between the U.S. and Cuba. So at this time, it's still, you could still go from the U.S. to Cuba and back and forth. But of course, at one point, the embargo does get into place, by the U.S. onto Cuba. And of course, travel to and from Cuba and the U.S. is, of course, halted. So, of course, at some point, we have to stay in Cuba. And basically, like I said before, his main focus is really to represent Cuba itself, in particular the poor people that were living there and their life in Cuba and the things that they were going through at some point. So that's pretty much it for this particular artist. And just to let you guys know, his work is still being exhibited at the National Museum of Fine Arts in Cuba. So if ever you guys have a chance of visiting Cuba, I would definitely recommend that you go into the museum and check it out for yourself and really check out him in particular. He does have work in the Cuban Museum of Art and Culture in Miami, and also on in the Museum of Modern Art of New York, and in the Cuban Foundation Museum in Daytona Beach. So you guys can find his work in mostly the U.S. and Latin America as well. He is very well known in Latin America, of course, like a lot of Latino or Spanish artists. But of course, here in English speaking Canada or US, he's not as well known, which is why I figured let's introduce this series and talk about him so that we also get to know artists of all kinds and not just the artists that we already know. So that's it for the introduction to uh, the Latin artist. Hello, hello, Wiley Rich. How you doing? I hope you're doing well today on this Saturday morning. It is Saturday morning for me. It's 9:23 in the morning here. Well, just turned 9:24, and I hope you're doing well this morning, Wiley. I'm doing very well. A little bit tired, I have to admit. I woke up pretty early this morning for some reason. My brain did not want to sleep, I guess, but I'm here and ready to do this show. I know Shane should be starting probably in another 5-10 minutes. I know he usually starts at 9:30. So I'll keep going until I see that he's going. But I basically just did an intro to a Latino artist by the name of Carlos Enriquez Gomez. I don't know how much of that you saw. And now I'm going to continue the vlog with my Spanish lesson. So it was actually Shane, just to let you know, Wiley, that got me to think that, hey, it'll be a good idea that while I do my Spanish lessons, that I also talk about Spanish or Latino artists. So that's why I start talking about that. So we're not going to go ahead and start our Spanish lessons, or I'm going to start the Spanish lesson. You guys are going to watch me doing Spanish lessons. So let's get to Duolingo. And as usual, guys, I'm not sponsored by Duolingo. I'm not affiliated with them. So if you guys, want to trash that app, that's absolutely fine. I just use that. I like Duolingo personally, but I don't blame you guys if you guys don't like it. Don't worry, you have the right to not like Duolingo. Like I said, I'm not affiliated or sponsored by them, so you guys can review it as you feel free. And it is a free app that you guys can use. You just have to go to duolingo.com and register for free. I believe that you can log in with your Gmail account automatically. Some of the things you do have to pay for, just to let you guys know. But for the most part, it is a free app. There will be, you'll see advertisement on the right hand side sometimes while you're taking a lesson. So that's why it's free. So just to let you guys know. All right, so we'll get into the lesson. So I'll continue with the travel. And as you can see, I have two more lessons here to do with that one. So we'll go with that one. Fill in the blank. Yo tengo tu boleto a Madrid. There we go. I have a ticket. I have your ticket to Madrid.
Un tren.
Un tren is a train. So, of course. Aquí está el tren. Here is the train.
Un autobús.
Una autobús. My money. Mi dinero.
Dinero.
Uh,
El aeropuerto.
el aeropuerto. El aeropuerto. Okay.
En el aeropuerto.
At the airport. En el aeropuerto.
Mi dinero.
Mi dinero is my money. A ticket to Barcelona. Boleto.
Boleto.
To a boleto.
Barcelona.
I know there's a word missing. Barcelona. Okay. Okay, they didn't have the A. That's un boleto. Okay, that's why. Okay.
Yo necesito dinero.
Yo necesito dinero. I need money.
En el autobús.
En el autobús. Autobús. There we are. The bus. Oh, el autobús. Oh.
Tu tren está aquí.
Tu tren está aquí. Your train is here. ¿Dónde es la mujer? Está en el autobús. There we go. ¿Dónde está el boleto? Because boleto is masculine. Aquí en el maleta. Maleta is female, so that's why it's there. Okay. A ticket to Barcelona. Un boleto.
Boleto.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Hello, Green Nation. How are you? As you can see, just started my lessons for my Spanish. And yes, Tuacar is there as well. Wink, wink, nod, nod. All right. So el autobús, autobús. Oh, okay, autobús. Okay, oh, there we go. I hope you're doing well, Green Nation, on this beautiful Saturday morning. Review lesson. Uh, I'm just gonna see if okay. So I haven't gotten a notification yet showing that Shane from Green Farmer Freelance is live. So we'll continue. Why is the screen blank now? Just gonna refresh this. There we go. Okay, grabbing straight to the next lesson. Well, okay, no problem. En el supermercado, el museo está cerrado. The museum is closed.
Una calle.
Una calle, a street.
¿Dónde está el hospital?
¿Dónde está el hospital? Where is the hospital? Where is the hospital? Yes, I'm
Mi
doing very
calle.
well, Green Nation. Thank you very much. I'm having a great morning. A little tired, like I said earlier to Wiley. I did wake up a little bit earlier than I would have liked, but I'm doing very well, and I hope you're doing very well as well. Mi calle, it's my street.
Un museo.
Un museo is a museum.
El hospital está aquí.
El hospital está aquí. The hospital is here. Where is the bathroom? ¿Dónde
¿Dónde
está
está
el
el
baño?
baño?
El hotel está cerrado.
El hotel está cerrado. The hotel is closed.
¿Dónde está el baño?
¿Dónde está el baño? Where is the bathroom? ¿Dónde está la niña? ¿Dónde es el hospital? El banco. ¿Dónde está la leche? I think milk is feminine in Spanish. ¿Dónde está en el supermercado? Yeah, there we go. Right in Spanish, the museum is closed. El museo está. They said the word for close earlier. It's not boleto. Oh my god, I had the word before. Is closed. I'm trying. Hello, Kabik. How you doing? How do I say closed again? Oh, I can't remember. Cerrado, of course. I knew it was a C word. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, cerrado. El museo está cerrado. Okay. In el bank. Está el banco. That I'm not too sure. En el banco. Okay. El museo está cerrado. Okay. En el banco. Okay. I'm doing very well, Kabik. I hope you're doing very well as well. A little bit tired on my end, but doing very well. Can't complain too much. At least life is good. All right. So as you can see, I got now I'm at level 3 out of 6. So basically, there is, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can tell. You see, you have 5 crowns and then a hamburger shape, I guess. That's basically I have 5 normal lessons and I can pay for a sixth one. I usually don't do that. I mean, I could if I really wanted to, but that's basically what that little symbol means. Okay, that you can pay for more lessons. There's a notification. Let's see if it's Green Great Farmer Freelance. Okay, so Great Farmer Freelance is live. I'll do one. I'll do one more lesson, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead to Great Farmer Freelance is live. So we'll do one more, and then after that, we'll call it an end to the live.
El pasaporte.
El pasaporte, the passport. A taxi, un taxi. Yeah. Uh, my passport, mi pasaporte,
Mi pasaporte.
Un taxi, por favor.
un taxi, por favor, a taxi, please.
Por favor.
Por favor, so por favor.
Un teléfono.
Un teléfono, a telephone,
Mi taxi.
mi taxi, suitcase, una
Una.
no, maleta.
Maleta.
Is a ticket.
El pasaporte, por favor.
A pasaporte, por favor. Oh, I got that one wrong. A taxi, el taxi,
Mi teléfono.
mi teléfono, no, mi suitcase. Oh, maleta. La maleta, female. Yo necesito mi teléfono.
Yo necesito mi maleta.
Yo necesito mi maleta. Ah,
El pasaporte, por favor.
el pasaporte, por favor. Maleta. All right, so that is that for today's lesson. So I will be going to Great Farmers Freelances live in a moment. I will, of course, officially shut down this live in a moment. So I'm basically just going to open it up here, and this is going to be the link uh, to Shane. So Great Farmer Freelance is live. So here we are. Here is his link to Great Farmer Freelance live. Hello, hello, Black Money Corp. How you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm going to be shutting down the live right now. I did do what about 20, 30 minutes. And as you know, Cookie Monster, that's about the length of my live. So yeah, I did 35 minutes. So that's the link to Great Farmer Freelances Live. So I'm going to go there in a moment. I, of course, will shut down this live formally. So I hope you guys enjoyed my Spanish lesson and also me presenting you guys an artist by the name of Carlos Enriquez Gomez, who's a Cuban artist. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was a shame, Great Farmer Freelance's idea indirectly for me to present Latino or Spanish artists and it was a poll on my community tab as to which one I would start off with. So people voted for Carlos Enriquez Gomez. So that's what I did. I presented him at the beginning and did a couple lessons of Spanish. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys again. I will be planning some live for the week coming up. So I hope you guys come and join me for my life. But of course, right now I'll be going to Shane's live. The link I did posted a moment ago. So I will be seeing you guys in a moment at Shane's live. So I hope you guys have a great Saturday. If I don't see you guys there, and have a great day, guys. So have a good one. Yes, our cookies. We have the special the adult cookies, as you know, here since a certain something is legal here in Canada and not the U.S. We have good cookies. We have good cookies now. So, all right, I'll make sure you get one. So come to the green room afterwards, Black Money Corp, and you'll get your cookies. Okay. All right, guys. So have a great one. I'll see you guys in a moment at Shane's live, and have a great Saturday and weekend if I don't see you guys at his live. Bye, guys. Au revoir. Ciao.